Hi, everybody. Celia Waterhouse here. Thank you so much for joining us at OnPoint Mentors. Today, we have Ishreen Bradley. Ishreen is a coach, a consultant, a strategic pioneer, an author, and a speaker. Hi, Ishreen.
Hi, Celia. Great to be with you.
Thanks for joining us. I'm really looking forward to hearing some of your advice that you're going to give us. But I only have one question for you today. And that question is, if you could share just one piece of advice on how you help your clients manage their emotions in a divisive world, what would it be?
Well, my one piece of advice that I give to every client I work with is just be your authentic self. Because we've spent our lives wearing these soiled, dirty jackets, right? And every time something happens, we put on a new one. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, from the time we're very young, all we want is to be accepted and to be loved. As human beings, that's all human beings want. And what we do, though, is as life goes on, we have experiences that make us realize or feel like we're not loved or we're not wanted. And when that happens, at least the first time that happens, it's a big shock, right? I don't know if you can remember the first time as a child when you experience that you're not wanted or not loved. You know, it might have been that you went to a birthday party and nobody was talking to you, or maybe you didn't even get invited to the party and all your friends went, right? All sorts of experiences. And every time something like that happens, we make a decision. And what we need to do first of all is we need to learn how to remove those jackets, those soiled jackets that are just making us all closed in and separate from other people, right? And making us feel really not that great about ourselves. So the first thing you need to do is one by one, figure out when you put that jacket on, what that jacket made you decide and feel, and what decisions you made that have constrained you in life and that make you, I don't know, make you want to be liked by everyone, or make you want to always be the first at something or the best at something. Or, you know, we all make decisions like that.
Yeah.
When we're children, when we're small, when we're young, our ego does that to protect us. And it's really valuable when we're very young because we're vulnerable.
Right.
But the thing is, we forget as we grow up as adults that that's just a decision we made at some point. Right? So then we need to unlearn those things, take those jackets off, because actually, as we grow into our adulthood and as we grow in our profession, those things get in the way. And they really are constraining, right? So first thing is remove those jackets so that you can at least have a space to discover who you are.
Right.
Know who you are, right?
So do you have any good tips for removing the jacket? You know, is it a zipper? Is it a button? How do you get it undone?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you have to really look into your life. You have to look at what happened, how it made you feel, where you felt it, what decision you made, where that's, you know, sometimes that's been a benefit. And where's that been a benefit? And where is it now in the way? Where is it making you be stuck and not happy with yourself and not feeling the beautiful, vibrant person that you are?
Right.
Where is it stopping you from feeling that? You know, where is it making you think, oh, I've got to please everybody, or I've got to be the best, or I've got to be the richest, or, you know, all those things that actually, when you don't achieve that, hurt inside.
Yeah.
Right?
So why do you think we as human beings try to compare ourselves constantly?
I think that's, again, back to wanting to be included and loved and, you know, measuring up, you know? I think that's what it is. But when you've managed to let go of all of that, you know, you're left with a blank canvas. And then you can really start to find who you are, your true essence. Find out what your values are, your true values, and, you know, really your core values. I would say maximum 3 to 5. You know, what are those values? What are you passionate about? Because I bet, you know, if you're in that kind of emotional trauma or anxiety or sadness or whatever that is, if you're in that space, you've kind of forgotten who you are. You've forgotten what your values are and what's important to you. So what are your values? And you've forgotten what you're passionate about. Like, you know, we all perform at our best when we're doing something we're passionate about.
Right.
Right? So that's the thing. So figure out your values, your passion. Once you've got that together, you can start to think about, what were you put on earth to do? What's your purpose? You know, what's your purpose really? Is it to be doing what you're doing now? Or is it to be doing something completely different that inspires you and that you're really good at and that's in your flow?
You know, you say blank canvas and what is your purpose? And, you know, a lot of people, especially now in this chaotic time, the idea of a blank canvas just frightens them, right? It's like, oh, what do I begin drawing? What do I begin writing? When you ask, what is your purpose? They're like, I don't know. So how do you help people through that process?
Yeah. So we do some visioning work. Well, the thing is, first of all, when you know your values and your passion, you already have a sense. So what we do is we work through the journey of your life and we look at how your values were formed. Some you were born with and they're your anchor, and some you developed as you grew up. What are they? Right? We understand what those are. We really do some creative work around what you're passionate about to get you really excited. And then we sit there with that blank canvas and we vision a future, a future in which all your values are fulfilled, where your purpose is realized, where your passions are there, right? And, you know, that ranges from, you know, for some people, it's to retire at the beach and just be surrounded by their family. And for some people, it's to create this amazing business that makes a huge difference to the world. And for some people, it's to get to be the chief executive of their company. So there's a whole range, and yours will be specific to you. And that's why I say purpose is so important, because with your purpose, you get to realize what you were put on earth to provide. And we have a really interesting little tool that we use to get there. We actually look at also what makes you angry. We find what makes you, so there are different aspects to the conversation, and it surprises people when we say, well, you know, to get to your purpose, you've got to look at really what makes you angry, right? And
can you give us an example of like something that angered someone and how you took them through?
Oh, sure. So let's see. I'm trying to think of what I can share with you. So one thing that so I'm going to talk to you about a client of mine who's American. She's been working with me for, I think 5 years now. And when she was a legal counsel in a fairly large global IT company, and she was in a fairly junior, well, kind of junior to middle role. And one thing that made her really angry was that her male colleague would take all the credit and she would do all the work, right? And what she got to realize was that actually, kind of almost aside from the purpose pieces, she got to realize that she needs to have compassion for herself and her colleague, right? But she also got to realize that performance is so important to her. You know, she got to realize that the team's performance was really important to her.
Right.
And what she loved, I mean, she looked at various different aspects, right? What are the different strands? But that's what made her angry. So that got her really focused on, okay, I need to make sure that I have compassion so that my team can perform. But she also loves languages. So, and she's fascinated by different cultures. So, in terms of her purpose, we looked there. We also understood how important it is for her to keep learning and work with technology and be at the leading edge
Right.
of things. And of course, she's got her legal skills, right? So we put that all together, and she came up with a purpose of being an innovator that creates global deals for technical companies who want to expand beyond the US.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So that was her purpose at work, you know, and within 3 years, she went from being a kind of mid-level um, worker in this tech firm to leading the global product launch for Netflix relationship with Sky. Her salary went from 50,000 to 500,000.
Wow.
I was so proud of her. You can't believe.
Oh my gosh, Ishreen, I'm hoping that we get to see some of these being brought onto our platform of how we can change how people perceive different situations and different events that occur in their lives.
Yeah.
But, you know, we need to have one of those discussions at a longer, you know, this is only
Oh,
10 minutes, but I would
no,
certainly love to choose that topic as one to discuss.
no, definitely. So, and then with the final piece of knowing your essence is knowing your value proposition.
Right.
You know, what do you offer that's unique and of value to the people you want to serve through your work?
Right.
And what I love about this piece of work and what really fires me up is we work on what's different about you. You know, that little child who wore all those jackets, they were trying to be the same as other people.
Yeah.
We take those things that were different that you were trying to hide and we make them blossom so that you can really shine as your authentic self. And I'm getting tears in my eyes now because that is just such a beautiful moment for me
Yeah.
working with my clients. I just get really moved by it.
Oh my God, Ishreen, thank you so much for your authenticity and for sharing your stories. And again, I definitely want to dive a little deeper into these topics. So thank you for joining us at OnPoint Mentors.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. It's been
All
so
right.
speaking with you.
Thanks.
Bye for now. Bye, everybody.